Hi, so today I'm sharing with you this happy mail that I made. So this was part of the 12-day advent that I did at Christmas, but it kind of applies to any time of the year because it's not a Christmas themed item, so I thought I'd share it with you now. And I made a stuffed envelope. So first of all I made my score lines on the piece of paper and I scored it at 3¼ inches. And then I flipped the paper over and I scored the other side at 3¼ inches again. Then as you can see here, I turned the paper 90 degrees clockwise, still on the white side of the paper, and I scored there. And you'll see it's sort of the shorter end, the bottom of the paper, where you score. And that part I scored at 3¾ inch. And you'll see that I'm doing a lot of moving around with the paper because I've only got this small scoreboard, so I'm having to like flip it backwards and forwards and stuff to get the full score on the page. Luckily I've now got a bigger scoreboard so I don't have to do that anymore. And here I have to go over my scores again because they weren't quite strong enough to help me to be able to make the folds. And so here you can see I'm just following all my score lines and folding my paper inwards so that the pattern paper is showing obviously on the outside. And I just use the bone folder to firmly press down my creases. And you can see there that I've folded over the bottom part and that part will create a pocket. And what I'll do is I'll adhere the pattern part down and I'll just leave the white part open and it'll act as a little pocket. You'll see what I mean as I go on. And here you can see I'm folding over the corners to create a central pocket. Here I've selected another piece of paper. This was from one of my magazines. And I'm just deciding here which way I want the paper to sit, with our lines horizontally or vertically. And now I'm just measuring up how long I need that piece to be. And I've scored it and I'm going to just trim off the excess with my old trimmer. Now this is like a really budget trimmer and it is quite old, but when I'm working quickly I find it much easier to grab than using my guillotine, so I just keep it around. And now I've got it up to the size I want, so I'm pleased with that. And I've just cut it down even smaller because I know I don't need all of that and I'll be able to use that little bit for something else, so I've saved it for later. I'm just checking that it fits in there nicely again, and now that I'm happy I'm just going to stick it down with some sticky tape. And now that I've got my background paper there, I can start to stick down my other folds. So now that my central fold's stuck down, I'm looking to adhere my pocket at the bottom. I'm just attaching some double-sided tape to the back of the paper. And then I'll take off the backing, and then you'll see I use my bone folder to just steer it down firmly there. And then you've got a little pocket at the front as well. So here I've got some paper flowers from 49 and Market, and I'm just taking some of them and putting them into a little packet, and then I've just made a little topper for the packet with my leftover paper. And I've just stapled it down, and I'm covering the staples with some ephemera. So I didn't have any more plastic pouches, so here I'm making my own with my fuse tool and a document wallet. And these are like firm, strong document wallets. I got them from Tesco. They're not sort of your usual plastic pocket files. They're a bit sturdier than that. And here I've got some ephemera from some different paper pads. Predominantly they are from the Paper Posies decoupage pad from Dovecraft. And I'm just taking a couple out of the Paper Posies pad there and using some cute little mini pegs and attaching them to the flaps. That's because I decided not to go with additional paper on there, and it just gives it a bit of interest there. And again I added a couple of pieces of ephemera of the staples. And now I'm just finding all my little bits that are going to go inside the envelope that I haven't already. So I've got some stickers from Dovecraft and then more from the Paper Posies pad. And now I'm just adding a little bit of ribbon around the sticker pages just to give it a little bit more interest. And then these tags from the Paper Posies set, I'm just going to give them some ribbon as well. So you could use these on your cards, or you could use them as gift tags, really, whichever you prefer. And there I just trim off the excess ribbon. And then I'm just going to put everything into the envelope. And so I'm just packing in as much as I possibly can. And then I decide to add a ribbon to that tag as well. And then I just rearrange everything just so that it fits quite nicely. And then I take this ephemera and add it to the front with some mini pegs as well. And I tried to make sure that I didn't adhere anything down so everything can be removed and used. And I think that's pretty much it. I hope you like this stuffed loaded envelope. I really enjoyed making it, and I'll definitely be making more of these in the future to send out as Happy Mail, and I'll probably make a few for my Etsy store as well. If you like this video, please give it a like and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks, and I'll see you again next week. Bye guys.